To discuss this issue with us further via Skype, we're joined by political expert OMAR ISMAILI. Now, this is not the first time the EU officials warned Turkey of its role in failing to do enough to stop the flow of terrorism via its borders. When will Turkey take this seriously?
I think Turkey will have a huge problem of securing its borders. Turkey have almost 700 miles of borders between Iraq, Syria, and parts of Lebanon. I think it would be extraordinary feat to require Turkey to police its borders, especially when we know it is so porous. People do travel in and out quite freely in different or probably not traditional crossing points. So, but I think one would have to actually also consider that this lady, when she left Spain and stayed in a hotel in Istanbul, she must have had logistics to support these activities. Traveling from France to Spain, again, crossed borders into Turkey, stay in Istanbul for one day. This lead me to believe that the net of support within Europe and Turkey for such terrorists is actually there. Otherwise, I don't think she would have been able to travel quite freely in that manner.
As you mentioned, Omar, Hayat covered very many borders. She crossed many borders, and obviously her name was on a watch list. How could this have happened?
Indeed, and before we blame Turkey, we should actually also look at what happened in Spain and how did she manage. It's easy to travel from Paris to Spain, cross borders. It's no problem, but boarding an aircraft from Spain to Turkey, and I have traveled and continue to travel to Turkey, and I have almost no exception. I've been subjected to the most rigorous check by the police force in this country, as well as the police force and security forces in Turkey. So something happened in Spain that facilitated her trip to Istanbul.
Now, we know that 90% of all individuals that cross to Syria go via Turkey. Now, in the light of Hayat's case and also the attacks that have happened in Paris, do you think that European officials should perhaps cooperate more with the Syrian government to ensure national security at home?
I'm not quite sure how would the European Union foreign ministers would cooperate with the Syrian government when the Syrian government itself cannot claim to control the entire country. So this will represent a huge problem. I think the problem lies on arrival of fighters from different European destinations into Turkey, and there is many airports. It's not just Istanbul. There is Ankara. There's also 2 airports in Istanbul. There's numerous airports that the Turkish authority will have to concentrate on. Having arrived to whatever destination that you arrive to in Turkey, then you are free to travel further east, where there are non-traditional crossing points to any part that you wish to, whether it's Syria or Iraq. And I don't think it would be right to say that all the fighters go through Turkey. I think there is a number of them that go through Iraq as well. Nonetheless, it will be a very limited number.
Now, the EU chief has stressed the importance of addressing threats through internal and external security measures. What will this mean in regards to foreign policies with countries such as Africa, Asia, and the Arab world?
You know, well, let's take just a step backwards and look at what's happened in Paris last week. It is not just affects Paris or France or Europe. You know, when you look at what happened over the last month, particularly in the last month, 2,000 people in Nigeria have been killed by Boko Haram. 12 people, 17 people, and our life is sacred to all of us. And 12 people actually have moved the entire West and, you know, to consider having a meeting in February to consider what to do with terrorism, where we don't have even in the local papers and the national papers here in Britain or elsewhere in Europe, not one mention about what happened in Nigeria, 2,000 people killed. So I think it has to be, in my view, this is a concentrated effort by all governments, by all nations, by all religions, by all people, to confront this scourge of terrorism that is being visited not just on Europe, but all parts of the world. I'm Egyptian, and you can see what's happening in Egypt. You see what's happening in Iraq. You see what's happening in Saudi Arabia. You see what's happening in Yemen. So I don't want to take it just as if the European feel the pain and the rest of the world don't.
Omar Ismail, thank you very much for joining us today.